The autonomous vehicle revolution isn't coming. It's already here. And while the entire automotive industry scrambles to catch up, one company has quietly built the most advanced self-driving system on the planet. Tesla's full self-driving technology isn't just another tech feature. It's the foundation of the most significant economic transformation since the internet, and most people are completely missing it. Here's what nobody's talking about. The autonomous vehicle revolution isn't about cars that drive themselves. It's about unlocking trillions of dollars in trapped economic value. It's about giving people back 300 hours per year. It's about creating entirely new business models that don't exist today. But let me back up for a second, because understanding why FSD will change everything requires understanding what it actually solves. Right now, Americans spend an average of 51 minutes per day commuting. That's 212 hours per year just sitting behind a wheel. For the average professional earning $60,000 annually, that's roughly $6,000 worth of lost productive time every single year. Multiply that across 230 million licensed drivers in the United States alone, and you're looking at over $1.3 trillion in annual productivity locked away in traffic. FSD unlocks that time completely. You're not driving anymore. You're working, learning, relaxing, or connecting with family while your car handles the commute. That's not a luxury feature. That's economic liberation on a massive scale. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Tesla didn't just build self-driving software. They built the only self-driving system that can actually scale globally. Every other approach requires HD mapping, geofencing, or remote operators. Tesla's vision-based system works anywhere there's a road. That's the difference between a clever technology and a world-changing platform. Think about how the smartphone transformed society. It wasn't just that phones got smarter. It was that suddenly everyone had a powerful computer in their pocket, connected to the internet, enabling entirely new categories of business. Uber, Instagram, Tinder, mobile banking. None of these could exist without smartphones reaching critical mass. FSD is following the same trajectory, but the impact will be even larger because transportation is a bigger part of the economy than communication ever was. Let me give you some numbers. The global transportation industry is worth approximately $7 trillion annually. Ride-hailing represents about $300 billion of that today. But here's the thing. Ride-hailing is expensive because you're paying for a human driver. Remove that cost, and suddenly, autonomous ride-hailing becomes cheaper than car ownership for most people. Tesla's Robotaxi network, which Elon has confirmed is launching in 2026, will offer rides at an estimated 30 to 40 cents per mile. Compare that to the current cost of vehicle ownership at about $1.20 per mile when you factor in depreciation, insurance, maintenance, and fuel. For anyone driving fewer than 15,000 miles per year, it becomes economically irrational to own a car. This creates a cascading effect. Fewer people own cars. Parking lots become obsolete. Urban real estate currently dedicated to parking gets repurposed. Cities redesign around mobility as a service instead of personal vehicle storage. Insurance industry shrinks dramatically because accidents become rare. Traffic congestion disappears because autonomous vehicles communicate and optimize traffic flow. We're talking about a complete restructuring of urban environments and transportation economics. But there's another layer here that's even more profound. Tesla's FSD doesn't just work in Tesla vehicles. The technology stack, the neural networks, the training infrastructure, the data pipeline, that's all transferable to other forms of autonomous systems. Humanoid robots use the same core technology. So do autonomous delivery vehicles, warehouse robots, and eventually aerial vehicles. Tesla isn't building a self-driving car company. They're building the foundational AI for physical world autonomy. FSD is just the first application. Let's talk about the Robotaxi economics for a second, because this is where the investment opportunity becomes crystal clear. Tesla currently has over 6 million vehicles on the road capable of running FSD. Not all will be approved for robotaxi service immediately, but let's be conservative and say 2 million vehicles join the network in the first 2 years. If each vehicle generates $30,000 per year in robotaxi revenue, that's just $82 per day. Very achievable for an autonomous vehicle that can operate 20 hours daily. And Tesla takes a 30% platform fee. That's $18 billion in annual high-margin revenue from the robotaxi network alone. And that's before dedicated robotaxi vehicles like the Cybercab scale production. For context, that would be equivalent to selling an additional 200,000 vehicles per year at Tesla's current margins. Except it's recurring revenue from a platform, not one-time hardware sales. The valuation implications are staggering. Wall Street is still valuing Tesla primarily as a car company, with some tech upside. But FSD transforms Tesla into a mobility platform with recurring revenue, network effects, and margins comparable to software companies. That's the disconnect. That's why analysts who project Tesla's stock price based on vehicle sales are missing the entire picture. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. Regulation, safety concerns, public acceptance. These are real considerations, but they're not obstacles. They're timing factors. On regulation, the US is actually ahead of most regions. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has already established frameworks for autonomous vehicle testing and deployment. Several states have explicit autonomous vehicle legislation, and the data increasingly shows that FSD is safer than human drivers. Tesla's latest safety report shows vehicles with autopilot engaged have 1 accident per 7.63 million miles, compared to 1 accident per 1.2 million miles for vehicles without safety features. As that safety gap widens, regulatory approval becomes inevitable. Governments want safer roads. Insurance companies want fewer claims. Cities want reduced congestion. Everyone's incentives align toward approving autonomous vehicles that demonstrably save lives. Public acceptance follows a predictable curve. Early adopters are already using FSD daily. As the technology improves and more people experience it, either as Tesla owners or robotaxi passengers, skepticism fades. This happened with elevators, airplanes, and countless other technologies that initially seemed dangerous or uncomfortable. Here's something most people don't realize. Tesla has already driven over 2 billion miles on FSD. That's more autonomous miles than every other company combined. Waymo, often cited as Tesla's main competitor, operates in limited geofenced areas with HD mapping and has accumulated maybe 50 million autonomous miles. The scale difference isn't even close. That mileage advantage compounds because machine learning improves with data. Every mile driven feeds back into the neural network. Every edge case encountered makes the system smarter. Tesla's fleet is learning faster than any competitor can possibly catch up. This is the same network effect that made Google dominant in search. More users meant more data, meant better results, meant more users. Tesla's FSD fleet creates the same flywheel. More miles driven means better software, means more people adopt FSD, means more miles driven. Now let's zoom out even further, because the implications of autonomous vehicles extend beyond transportation. Think about land use. The average parking space in an urban area occupies about 150 square feet. There are an estimated 2 billion parking spaces in the United States. That's 300 billion square feet of land dedicated to storing idle vehicles. In cities where land costs $100 per square foot or more, we're talking about trillions of dollars in real estate currently locked up in parking. When vehicles become autonomous, they don't need to park near their destination. They can drop you off and relocate to cheaper areas, or better yet, continue serving other passengers. Suddenly, that prime urban real estate can be redeveloped into housing, parks, commercial space, or mixed-use developments. This is happening whether people realize it or not. Forward-thinking cities are already planning for reduced parking needs. Developers are building structures with convertible parking levels that can be repurposed when autonomous vehicles arrive. Then there's the environmental impact. Autonomous vehicles optimize routes, reduce congestion, and drive more efficiently than humans. Studies suggest AVs could reduce fuel consumption by 20 to 30% through better acceleration patterns and route optimization alone. Combine that with electric vehicles, and you've got a massive reduction in transportation emissions. But here's the really exciting part. FSD enables entirely new use cases that don't exist today. Imagine rural healthcare access, where an autonomous vehicle picks up elderly patients and brings them to medical appointments. No need for family members to take time off work. No expensive medical transport services. Just affordable, reliable mobility for populations that currently lack it. Or think about overnight delivery. Right now, long-haul trucking requires drivers to stop for rest breaks. Autonomous trucks can operate continuously, cutting delivery times in half and reducing costs dramatically. Fresh food from California farms could reach East Coast markets faster and cheaper. Supply chains become dramatically more efficient. Education transforms too. School districts spend billions on buses and drivers. Autonomous vehicles could provide personalized transportation at a fraction of the cost, picking up students directly from home on optimized routes. Kids get more sleep. Parents get more flexibility. Districts redirect budget to actual education. These aren't speculative fantasies. These are logical extensions of autonomous vehicle technology that become economically viable the moment FSD reaches the threshold of reliability and regulatory approval. And that moment is closer than most people think. Tesla's FSD version 13, currently rolling out, shows dramatic improvements in decision-making, especially in complex urban environments. The intervention rate, how often a human needs to take over, has dropped significantly. Each version update brings exponential improvements, not linear ones. He expects to reach unsupervised before people realize it. Maybe that's optimistic. Maybe it happens in 2026 or 2027. But the timeline doesn't fundamentally change the outcome. This technology is happening. The only question is whether you position yourself to benefit from it. For Tesla investors, FSD represents the most asymmetric opportunity in the stock. The market isn't pricing in robotaxi revenue. Analysts aren't modeling the platform economics. The institutional investment community still views Tesla through a traditional automotive lens. That gap between perception and reality creates opportunity. When the robotaxi network launches and revenue starts flowing, Wall Street will scramble to update their models. By then, the obvious opportunity will be gone. For society at large, FSD represents the most significant quality of life improvement since the washing machine freed people from manual laundry. Time, which is our most finite resource, suddenly becomes abundant. The 50 minutes you spend commuting become 50 minutes to work on your side business, learn a new skill, meditate, exercise, or simply rest. That's not incremental improvement. That's transformational change, affecting billions of people. The transportation revolution that FSD enables isn't coming. It's here. It's unfolding right now on roads across the planet. Tesla has already deployed the hardware. The software improves weekly. Regulatory frameworks are being established. The economic incentives are overwhelming. This is the ground floor of the biggest transformation in how humans move since the invention of the automobile itself. And just like the automobile created entirely new industries and reshaped society in ways nobody predicted, FSD will do the same. The question isn't whether this happens. The question is whether you recognize it while it's still early enough to matter. If you found this analysis valuable, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. On this channel, we break down the convergence thesis that most analysts are missing. The real story behind how Tesla, SpaceX, and xAI are building the future together. Drop a comment below. Do you think FSD will achieve unsupervised autonomy in 2026, or will it take longer? What aspect of the autonomous revolution excites or concerns you most? I read every single one. And if you're considering joining the Tesla ecosystem, use my referral link below in the description to get $1,000 off your purchase or free FSD miles. It's a great way to support the channel and gets you the best deal available. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next deep dive. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.